My folks screamed, "You're nothing. The house is Mia's. We're done with you." I just said okay and walked out. A year later, they were begging at my door, crying about being kicked out. I slammed it shut. Never thought I'd be typing something like this, but here I am at 2 a.m., still messed up by what just happened at their place. Heads up, this might take a while. So, I'm Leo, 25. My sister Mia, she's 28 and always been the favorite. Growing up, everything I did was wrong, but Mia? She could do no wrong. I quit college to learn a trade and make real money. Not cause I was failing, but cause I saw a chance. My parents never let me forget what a letdown that was. Last night started normal enough. Mom texted, asking me over for dinner, said they had big family stuff to talk about. Should have known something was off when Mia's fancy car was already in the driveway when I pulled up in my work truck. The air got thick the second I walked in. Mia was sitting there with that smug look I've known since we were kids. Mom and Dad had those fake serious faces they make when they're about to drop some wisdom. Dinner was quiet, just forks scraping and Mia making little digs about my dirty work clothes. Sorry for coming straight from a job, I guess. Then Dad cleared his throat and dropped the bomb. "We've been thinking about the future," he started, not even looking at me, "about what we leave behind and who we can trust with it." I kept eating my meatloaf, already knowing where this was going. "Mia has proven herself," Mom added. "She's responsible, successful, knows how to handle money." Each word felt like a punch. "We've decided to change our will. The house, our savings, everything will go to Mia." Mia's face lit up like Christmas. "It's for the best, little brother. We all know you just mess around with your projects." The way she said it made 10 years of hard work sound like a kid's game. I put down my fork. "What about me?" Dad exploded. "What about you? What have you done to deserve anything? No degree, no real job, just getting your hands dirty like some." He waved his hand like I was nothing. "You're worthless to this family's future." The kitchen went dead silent. Mia's smirk just got bigger. "Here's the thing. 10 years ago, that would have crushed me. But I've built my own life. I've got my own business now, contracts lined up, and a crew that respects me." I looked at my rough hands, then at Mia's perfect nails, and something just clicked. I stood up, my chair scraping. "Okay," I said. Mom looked confused. "That's all you have to say?" "Yeah, okay. You want Mia to have everything? Fine. But remember this moment." I looked each of them in the eye. "Remember you chose this." Mia laughed. "Are you trying to be dramatic? What are you going to do? Go sulk in your truck?" I grabbed my keys. "No, Mia. I'm going to show you exactly how worthless I am. You want everything? Congratulations, it's all yours, including their problems." Dad started yelling about respect. Mom was crying about family duty, and Mia was making some comment about me being jealous. I just walked out, got in my truck, and drove away, blocking their numbers before I even hit the highway. That was 3 months ago. Since then, my phone's been blowing up with messages from those helpful relatives, aunts, uncles, family friends, all telling me I need to make peace and think about my poor parents. Yesterday, I got a voicemail from Mom. They're in big trouble. Turns out Mia isn't as responsible as they thought. I saved that voicemail. Something tells me I want to remember exactly how they sound when they're begging for help. If anyone's interested, I'll update you when things really blow up. Right now, I'm just focused on growing my business and watching karma do its thing. Update 1. It's been about 8 months since my folks told me I was worthless and gave everything to Mia. A lot's happened, and honestly, I'm still trying to take it all in. So, last Tuesday, I'm having coffee at my usual diner before work, scrolling through my phone, when I get this wall of text from Mom. I almost choked on my coffee reading it. Apparently, they're being kicked out of their house, the same house I grew up in, the one they promised Mia. The message was full of, "We made a terrible mistake, and you were always the responsible one. And please help us, we don't know what to do." I ignored it. 10 minutes later, Dad started calling, then Mia, then Mom again. I blocked them all and finished my coffee. But I got curious, so I did some digging. Turns out Mia convinced them to refinance the house to invest in some amazing real estate deal she had lined up. She promised to triple their money in 6 months. Yeah, you can guess how that went. The market crashed, and Mia lost everything. Their money, her clients' money, the whole shebang. Now the bank is taking their house. The best part? While I was at the diner, Mia showed up, just walked right in like she owned the place. She was wearing those fake fancy sunglasses she loves, trying to look important. "Leo, You have to help them, she said, sliding into my booth uninvited. They're your parents. Like I'm their worthless son. Oh my God, are you still hung up on that? Grow up. They made a mistake. We all make mistakes. I looked her dead in the eyes. You're right. They did make a mistake. Several, actually. Trusting you was their biggest one. She started crying, the fake kind with perfect tears that don't mess up her makeup. They'll be homeless, Leo. Is that what you want? To see your own parents on the street? I pulled out my phone and showed her the screenshots I'd saved from last year. The family group chat where they all ganged up on me. The messages calling me worthless. Her own texts bragging about the house. You know what's funny, Mia? While you were playing real estate mogul with their retirement, I was actually learning the business for real. I know exactly how much their house is worth. I know about the loans. I know about the foreclosure auction next month. Her face went white. What are you talking about? I'm talking about karma, sis. I've got the cash to buy that house at auction, and guess what? I'm going to. She exploded, started screaming right there in the diner about how I was vindictive, how family should help family, how I was destroying our parents' lives. The manager had to ask her to leave. Later that day, my parents showed up at my apartment. Dad was red-faced, yelling about how I was no son of his. Mom was crying, begging me to reconsider. I just stood there, letting them rant. Finally, Dad ran out of steam. In the silence, I said, remember when you told me I'd never amount to anything? That I was worthless compared to Mia? Well, look at us now. I'm the one with savings. I'm the one who can afford to buy your house. Funny how life works out, isn't it? Mom tried to hug me. I stepped back. I'll see you at the auction, I said, and closed the door. The auction is in 3 weeks. I've already got my money sorted. Mia's been spreading rumors about me and the family, saying I'm heartless, that I'm destroying our parents out of spite. Maybe she's right about the spite part, but you know what? I'm done being the bigger person. They're still blowing up my phone. Aunts, uncles, cousins, everyone's got an opinion. Most are on their side, saying I should help. A few get it, though. My cousin Sam called yesterday and said it's about time someone stood up to them. The best part? Mia's amazing investment scheme is falling apart. Turns out she wasn't just playing with our parents' money. Other clients are starting to ask questions. Her broker license is under review. Karma really is something. I know buying their house might seem cold, but after everything, the years of favoritism, the insults, the manipulation, I just want them to understand what they threw away. I'm not their worthless son anymore. I'm the guy who's going to own their house. We'll update after the auction. Mia's already threatening to expose me, whatever that means. Thanks for all the support. To those asking, yes, I'm going through with the auction. No, I'm not backing down. They made their choice last year. Now I'm making mine. Update 2. Hey Reddit, a lot of you have been asking for an update, so here it is. Grab your popcorn, because karma finally showed up, and she's being brutal. Quick recap. Parents called me worthless, left everything to my sister Mia. I walked away and built my own life. Then they lost everything because Mia's schemes backfired. Now they're all living with the consequences of their choices. The foreclosure auction was yesterday. Guess who now owns my parents' house? That's right, me, the worthless son they kicked to the curb. The look on Mia's face when I walked in and started bidding was priceless. She tried to outbid me, but couldn't even come close. Turns out her credit is completely shot, and none of her business contacts would touch her with a 10-foot pole. My parents were there too. Mom started wailing in the middle of the auction. That's our house. You can't do this to us. Dad tried to grab my arm and talk sense into me. I just looked him dead in the eye and said, sorry, I'm just a worthless son doing worthless things. The auctioneer had to threaten to call security to get them to back off. Mia cornered me in the parking lot afterward. She was screaming about how I was destroying the family and how Mom was having panic attacks because of me. I just pulled out my phone and played the recording from last year's dinner where she laughed while my parents told me I was worthless. She shut up real quick. Remember when you said I'd never amount to anything, Mia? Look who's living in their car now. That's right. She's been sleeping in her Civic for the past week. Her boyfriend, Brandon, kicked her out after finding out she'd maxed out his credit cards. Her whole real estate empire was built on lies and other people's money, and now it's all gone. My parents are living in some crummy one-bedroom apartment on the edge of town. Dad tried to play the family card yesterday, showed up at my office unannounced. We raised you better than this, he said. I just laughed and asked if he meant the part where they taught me to step on people or the part where they taught me that family means nothing when money's involved. The best part? My girlfriend, Anna, works at the bank where Mia had her accounts. Totally legally, she let me know that Mia's been bouncing checks left and right. Her former clients are coming after her for the deposits she mismanaged. She's drowning in debt and legal trouble. I hired a property management company to handle the eviction process. They're giving my family 30 days to get out. Mia's been calling me nonstop, leaving voicemails about how they'll be homeless. I just keep forwarding them to my new email folder labeled Karma. Mom showed up at my house last night, crying about how they've learned their lesson. She brought my old childhood photos, trying to guilt trip me. I opened the door, took one look at the photos, and dumped them in the recycling bin right in front of her. Should have thought about these memories before you threw me away, I said, and shut the door in her face. The house. I'm going to fix it up and rent it out. Every month when they drive by and see other people living in their dream home, they'll remember their choices. Mia's already been spotted crying in her car outside the house twice. Anna thinks I'm being too harsh. Maybe I am, but you know what? They spent years teaching me that I was worthless, that nothing I did would ever be good enough. Now they get to live with the consequences of that lesson. Here's the kicker. I just found out through the grapevine that Mia's been telling people I manipulated and cheated them out of their house. Classic. She still can't accept that her own actions led to this. Dad's apparently drinking heavily, and Mom's posting passive-aggressive Bible quotes on Facebook about ungrateful children. The family's split down the middle. My Aunt Sarah, Mom's sister, called to tell me I'm evil for making my parents homeless. I reminded her about the time she watched Mom throw my college acceptance letter in the trash because trade school is good enough for people like you. She hung up on me. But my cousin Sam, he showed up with a six-pack and helped me change the locks on the house. Said he's been waiting years for Mia to get what's coming to her. The property management company tells me they'll be out by the end of the month. I'm having security cameras installed tomorrow. Part of me hopes they try something stupid. The other part knows they're too broken to even try. I should feel bad. I know I should. But every time I drive past that house, every time I see Mia's Civic parked outside some cheap motel, every time Mom's number shows up on my phone, I just remember that dinner. I remember them laughing. I remember Mia's smirk. And I smile. Final update. It's been a wild month since my last update. Figured you all deserve to know how this show finally ended. Buckle up. Remember how I mentioned Mia was trying to save her reputation? Well, turns out desperation makes people stupid. Last Tuesday, I'm at home watching Netflix with my girlfriend Anna when my phone starts blowing up. Not just Mia, my parents too, all sending these dramatic, "we need to talk now" messages. I ignored them at first, but then Anna, scrolling through Instagram, goes, babe, you need to see this. Mia had posted this long, tear-jerking story about how her cruel brother was destroying the family, complete with crying selfies and old family photos. She tagged me in it and started this whole hashtag campaign about family reconciliation or something. The comments were wild. All these people who had no clue what really happened were sending me hate messages. Mia even got some local Facebook mom groups involved. Real classy. But here's where they messed up. They showed up at my house, all three of them. Mia was filming on her phone, clearly hoping to catch some dramatic confrontation for social media. My dad was doing his whole intimidating stance thing that stopped working on me years ago. Mom was already fake crying. I almost didn't answer the door, but you know what? I was done hiding. I opened it and just stood there, blocking the entrance. Mia immediately starts with her script. "We're here to heal our family. Why are you being so cruel? We just want to talk." I looked straight into her phone and said, "Mia, remember that email you sent me last year? The one where you bragged about manipulating Mom and Dad into signing over their house. The one where you literally wrote, 'They're too stupid to realize what they signed.' I still have that." The phone lowered real quick. Then I turned to my parents. "And that contract you signed with Mia last year? The one she said was just routine paperwork for the house. I had my lawyer friend look at it. You didn't just sign over the house. You signed on as guarantors for all her failed investments. That's why your credit is destroyed. That's why you can't even rent a decent place now. Your precious golden child screwed you over, not me." Mia tried to interrupt, but I wasn't done. "You want to talk about family? Okay, let's talk. Let's talk about how I offered to help you fix the roof last year, but you said my construction work wasn't good enough for your precious house. Now you're living in that rundown apartment because Mia's professional contractor friend did such a bad job that the new owners had to gut the whole top floor. My mom started with the real tears now. We made a mistake. We are your parents. No, I said. You made a series of choices. Every time you chose Mia over me. Every time you belittled my work. Every time you called me worthless. Those weren't mistakes. They were choices. And now you're living with the consequences. My dad tried to step forward, looking mean. I'm not that scrawny kid anymore. 6 years of construction work changes a man. He must have seen something in my eyes because he stepped right back. Here's what's going to happen, I said. Mia, you're going to delete that Instagram post and all your little hashtag campaigns. Mom, Dad, you're going to stop telling people I abandoned the family, because if you don't, I'll post every screenshot, every email, every legal document showing exactly how Mia played you. Your choice. Mia deleted everything before they even left my driveway. The best part? That house they're so bitter about me buying? I just signed the papers to sell it to a lovely young family. Made a nice profit too. Yeah, I could have kept it as a rental, made them watch someone else live in their dream home, but I realized something. I don't need that kind of reminder in my life. Anna and I are using the money as a down payment on our own place, something that's never had their toxic energy in it, something that's just ours. Mia, last I heard, she's working at a mall kiosk. Parents are still in that crummy apartment. Sometimes karma does its job better than any revenge could. To everyone who followed this saga, thanks for the support. Special thanks to those who messaged me about similar experiences with golden child siblings. You helped me realize I wasn't crazy for cutting them off. Life's pretty good now. Anna and I are talking about getting married next spring. My business is doing well, and most importantly, I sleep just fine at night knowing I didn't have to destroy them. They did that all on their own. I just refused to be their safety net.